Hey guys, welcome to the Allure and Hour podcast with your girl Alora Dannon. I would like to take the time and have my co-host introduce himself. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is BVAS711, aka Brandon, and I'm coming at you from Philadelphia, PA.
Hey.
Hello, ladies. This is your boy, Sexual Chocolate, a la the Great, aka Aaron. And I'm so happy that we got Jazz back with us tonight. She missed last time and didn't get to hear this sexy voice, but it's back, Jazz. It's back for you.
Who is?
I'm actually glad I kind of missed it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As he said, hi, I'm Jazz, coming from Atlanta, and I am not a fan of his Batman voice. So,
She's a liar. She loves it.
my
She goes,
God.
she goes to sleep dreaming about it.
Ooh.
She accidentally called her husband my name one night,
Whoa.
thinking about this sexy voice.
We're gonna choke you out.
You want to get everybody killed, ain't you? Like,
Probably.
yeah. You want to get killed by yourself, sir. You can get killed by yourself. I'm out of it. Nope. Nope. Hey, girl. I'm loving them glasses.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, girl, see, then go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Oh, I
You
ain't
got some bad y'all.
still eating. Well, hey guys, I'm CL from Pussy Talks. Live every Thursday between 8 and 9. I'm so excited to be here to talk about somebody getting their ass beat. But let's do it.
Well, let's
Well,
get
let's get
to
I've
it.
never been to a podcast that start on time. If you ever come to mine, we always like 15 minutes late.
We know. It's okay, though. It's okay.
Yeah, we gonna be 15 minutes late, period. But I'm here.
We like to be
That's
pumped.
black people time. You know, black people time, they say 4 o'clock, but it's really 6. So,
Right. I didn't know what type of party this was. What's up, Brandon? What's up, Anthony? How y'all doing tonight?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
good.
Y'all dry as fuck, but we gonna get it turned up in this bitch. What's up, Alora?
Girl, what's up? Hey, boo.
Hey, girl. Hey.
So, guys, I think you guys should listen really fast.
Okay.
Yes, do that. All right, cool. So, guys, we are here tonight to talk about your boy Kanye West. Why are we here to talk about Mr. West again, you say? Because dang, the Lauren Hour, you guys have talked about him for like a whole week straight. Yes, we have. But Kanye makes it just so easy. So, anyways, Kanye has made headlines again, but this time Kanye was with the shits. And he sent his goons after your boy D.L. Hughley. So let me give you guys a little bit of brief background into this. Why Kanye sent his homeboy to roll up on D.L. Hughley. So D.L. went to Twitter and he tweeted. This was a trigger for Kanye. Let's remember Kanye does suffer from bipolar disorder. So I'm going to take this as a trigger. DL went to Twitter and he said, yo, listen, ain't it weird? Kanye supposedly has all these goons who will kill for him, but not one of them will get his prescriptions filled. Here's a thought. While you're on your way to kill me in Calabasas, how about somebody drop by CVS and pick up your Xanax? Laugh out loud. Oh, guys, I'm mute. Go ahead, I'm mute. Guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Kanye just like, he got a shovel. That dude shovels real big. Homie is just digging himself in so much of a deeper hole with every action that he's taken online. Like I was saying, go media silent, go check yourself into a rehab clinic and just get yourself out of this. Because there's right now he's put himself in a position where he's not going to be able to repair his reputation. It's going to get to that point, and he's already I think he's passing that point of no return, threatening the life of a fellow celebrity that really just makes jokes for a living. It's kind of like that's outrageous.
Wow.
Well, what did DL Hughley say first? Because what did he do so I can justify whether he was right or wrong?
DL had said he said that someone needed to get Kanye, and he said basically he had tweeted before that comment. He said that Kanye was borderline stalking Kim Kardashian, and I would have to kind of agree with him. And there's a line that we have to draw between trying to get our spouse back and the line where we're actually stalking them, because when Kanye sent that truck of roses, it was sweet, but it was a little bit scary. That was a little bit too much for me. And then buying a house across the street, I understand that he wants to keep his family close. That's scary because Kim lived with Kanye. Kim probably witnessed things we haven't seen. I'm not saying he's a violent man. I mean, we've seen some displays of violence and towards the paparazzi, but at the same time, I got it. I get that why he wanted the house across the street, but I just thought if they were going through a divorce and it's so messy how it is, don't buy the house across the street. Buy the house around the corner. Because
that's where I disagree at, though. Being a person that was in a toxic marriage and married, that shit get real. And I feel like Kim was wrong for publicly having a boyfriend, number one, because it's not resolved. So on my end, you trifling. Because if I'm gonna have a boyfriend, you don't go nowhere with me until my business is taken care of. Whoopty whoop whoopty whoop. Because at the end of the day, that's still his wife, and he still has a right to fight for his family back. And that's just how I feel. Period. Now, is it a little outrageous? Yeah. But I mean, let's just go back to the hood for a second. If he know you at Jitso's, he pulling up at Jitso's. So why is it different for Kanye because he got a little bit of money? Okay, I've been out with other.
First of all, if he pulling up to Jitso's, I'm gonna be scared because I know he coming there and he dragging me out.
Right, exactly. So you know how it gets real in relationships. That's why I don't feel like nobody should cross certain lines. If you cross the picket line, you deserve everything you fucking get because that's my husband, I'm his wife, and we be acting crazy sometimes, but that ain't your business though. Number two, because we all been there because you can't even. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, finish it. He gonna go after.
Oh, my last thing I want to say about that is like everybody's so high and mighty, but behind closed doors, we all go through stuff with our spouse, and you know who you dealing with. You know they're a little crazy, and when you got a little money, you get a little crazier. Because at the end of the day, if we was in the hood and we was in apartments, I'm hanging out at your next door neighbor's house all motherfucking day because I know you ain't got no bitch up in there. Knock, knock, knock. But that's just me.
But see, but that's not okay though. Even though it happens in the hood, we shouldn't normalize it. That's something where people should be able to have.
Again, dude, I don't get if I know you still. If I feel like this, I don't fuck with nobody that was just with somebody during 7 to 90 business days. I ain't getting into that because I'm gonna have to beat your bitch ass, and you gonna be mad at me. So I feel like we should all respect those boundaries. Y'all could just be going through a rough patch and y'all just acting up, but don't be upset when they fuck you up about fucking up some shit that's theirs. The end.
B, go ahead.
So, see, in regards to a whole situation with Kanye, that relationship was already done by then when he started stalking them, showing up in places that he shouldn't have been. If I was
coincidence, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I wouldn't be in that. I wouldn't be in that position because I've had relationships that fell apart, and the last thing I'd want to do is just show up. There are tendencies that I can have an obsessive personality, and what I'm going to try and do is separate myself from it. So my relationships are.
So you acknowledge that sometimes you could get a little crazy too. I'm just mad at people for not keeping it real. That's all I'm saying.
As acknowledging of things that have happened in my past, what I have done to prevent that is I don't go back to that person. Once it's broken off, I'll try to do some type of reconciliation. If I can't get that reconciliation off, I just move on as far as breaking it off. Because if it's over with one side, you can't make the other person love you after that. They either love you or they don't. And if they don't feel that same way, you won't feel that. And all it's going to do is just hurt you even more and make things more toxic. So probably what happened is she was telling him, I'm not okay with your behavior, and it's getting to a point where I'm not feeling the love I had for you at first. which made his behavior more erratic. Is like, I'll run for president. I'll fix all this. This is all the, this is all the things. So he'll start doing, they started having problems right then. I'm telling you, it started 2 years ago. He started having these problems, and COVID probably made it worse. You don't know what was going on behind closed doors. We never know. But let me tell you, a lot of relationships fell apart 2 years in the past.
Oh, I agree too.
that.
But my issue is I don't know how to break up with people because I still be wanting to fuck and be upset that you still coming by.
Yeah.
But again, that might be my toxic. So you can't keep having sex with them and doing that nasty stuff and be like, no, I'm for real, it's over. And then next week you out, because that's a lot of games that adults play, because they might have that good jug and you ain't ready to let it go, but you don't like them emotionally like that either. So I'm just being honest.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me
even
get
if-
Jazz. Let me get Jazz point of view. Jazz, go ahead. Let me hear your perspective on this.
I mean, I agree with what CO say, but then I feel like it's just a tad bit too much. Like you said, like with the roses and all that shit, it's too much. But I understand as to why he's doing
It's
it. Maybe
only
it's the
too much because
crazy in
he
me.
got money.
Yeah. Because a regular
wouldn't say-
nigga from the South Side doing that, we're gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with him?
Right. He might, if he bring a dozen roses, I'm like, oh, you being a stalker. So I guess it's on each level how you think about it.
I don't know, because when I was in high school, I had a guy who would leave notes in my locker, and then he would send me, like, we had candy grams, and he would send me candy grams to the classroom, and I was very clear that I wasn't interested in him, and so he kept on bothering me. Or I would be at my locker, he popped up behind me. That made me feel uncomfortable, and whenever I walked through the hallway, I'm like this. And it took for a point for my sister, my oldest sister, for her to get involved. And she'd be like, my sister rude. I love my boo. Love you, Shannon. My sister was just like, yo, leave my sister alone. My sister don't like you. Step off, walk away. Like it took for my sister because I wanted to be nice about it. And I believe Kim is trying to handle things in a nice manner because she's not gutter. You know what I'm saying? Kim is trying to handle it, the way she was raised, how to handle
But
it.
I see, like, I really can't be mad at him about it. Like I said, it's fucking crazy, but I can't be mad at it about him because,
Right.
I mean, with the ex of mine, it was somewhat similar. We ain't gonna talk about that, but, he know. But,
Right.
yeah.
Aaron, give me your
So-
views on this.
Yeah. So I agree with both sides. I mean, I feel like if Kim was wrong for like that's publicly humiliating somebody who already don't have him
I
all
agree
there.
with that. Yeah.
Like, so you're intentionally trying to piss him off. And I feel like I'm not gonna say all, but I feel like if women do that whenever they like are going through a breakup, where it's like, how much can I piss you off before this relationship is completely over with? And that's what she's doing. And nobody's pointing out the fact that she's doing this for attention. She brought, like, let's be real, Kardashians don't really date white boys like that. But she
well, hold on. Each one of them got one now.
Except for Kylie.
Kylie don't. They switched it out.
Yeah, but I mean,
Kim is trying a new formula. She went back to the lab. She's trying a new formula.
And plus, I feel like if she still was playing with Kanye's emotions, because remember, they was going through this breakup, and then for his release party for his album, she was right there with him. So it's like you're going back and forth. That's messing with a man's emotions.
Maybe that was support. Have you guys ever thought about that? Maybe
you can support from
they're separating. Maybe she still wanted to support him.
She was walking in there with him hand in hand, dressed up like him and everything.
She's sitting in
There's two different ways that you can support from a distance. You can support by just being there, but not being with him.
But then again, like, what happened that night for her to break it off? You got to think about it. Like, what did he do and what happened and transpired for her to say, I'm done? So also the Pete Davidson situation is kind of interesting because Pete Davidson's open about his mental health. And why is she with someone that's open about their mental health? That it kind of like throws you off a little bit. If you don't like crazy, then why are you going with someone who's like publicly out? Because one, he's got it in check. And if he doesn't feel right, he goes into gets it looked at. And I think that's something that she's trying to show Kanye, like, hey, it's okay. I can deal with it. I just want you to take care of yourself. Maybe that's what's happening.
Okay. Well, we have some comments from Facebook. Yep. Our Facebook comments aren't popping up. So Dennis J. Page said, Kanye just feels helpless to the system, aka Kim's family and court system. He wants his kids to avoid Kardashian family business. and he said, "Aaron, you're on point tonight." What do you guys have to say about that?
I ain't got nothing to say. I'm gonna close my mouth. Plead the fifth.
So let me because I'm kind of want to get back on track because I feel you guys what you guys are saying about Kanye and Kim and maybe she was misleading him, but but after a while Kim really made it public that she did not want hey B Sparrow, she did not want to be in that marriage anymore. She filed for legal separations, and she didn't want to be associated with him anymore, really. So I want to get back to Kanye and DL. So my problem is Kanye is lashing out at everyone but Pete. So he attacked Trevor Noah verbally. And yeah, we've seen the back and forth with him and Trevor Noah. He attacked DL Hughley and some other people. My problem with Kanye right now is Kanye is not taking accountability for anything that he has done. Right now, Kanye is blaming everything on Kim. We all know in relationships, it's never one party. I can say it's always my husband's fault till I'm blue in the face, but there are some days where I play a role in that. Some days I'm aggravating. Some days I'm aggravating on purpose. We all have a boiling over point. And I really think that's where Kim was at. But my thing is, why isn't Kanye taking this to the right people? Why are you attacking Trevor Noah and DL Hughley? To me, it sounded like DL was saying, hey, bro, at this point, this can land you in jail. Because when I read that, I didn't take it as a shade. I read it as in, Kanye, listen, brother, you better get together. You want to be in jail. What do you guys think?
I think that the reason why he is lashing out at everybody is because in his head, he feels like what he's doing is okay and what he's doing is right. So he expects everybody else to be on his side. And when they see that, when he sees, that they're not on his side, then that's where the lashing out, comes at. So, because I feel like, as it's like the black person, like black people should be black people type shit, and seeing the fact that all these people that happen to be black are against what he's doing, he feels like everybody's against him. And with people that do have mental illnesses and shit like that, they do always think that the world is against them, and that's not even the case. So
my take on it is, y'all know how Kanye get when Kanye be Kanye, and keep y'all motherfucking names out his mouth. Because if you get it, don't be mad. Shut the fuck up. Because when I'm on my shit, I don't give a fuck what you said. It could have been in good love and good faith. Shut the fuck up, because I'm not at that point of listening. I don't want to receive it. Leave me the fuck alone. So when I cuss your ass out when I'm in that red zone, take it very personal, because I feel like now you're laughing at my pain or making a mockery of me. So I feel like if y'all already know he on one, stop putting yourself out there to say some shit. You're not his real friend, because why are you publicly saying shit about, me or Kanye? If you are really his friend and you genuinely care about him, pull him by his coattails. You don't have to go on a platform to give him advice. That's why I feel like this shit isn't genuine. And that's why I agree with them cussing their ass out and fucking them up. I said it. Who got that shit next?
I agree that it wasn't genuine. It might not have been genuine, but I do want to say that if you were out and you were spiraling, right, you would want that one friend or that one associate to tell you, listen, girlfriend, get it together. Right now, you are on a dangerous path. And even though we may not like the delivery,
call me. Don't put that shit on social media. Don't do a StreamYard about me. If you love me, call me.
But in DL's defense, Kanye did say he wasn't taking no phone calls from nobody. So there have been people calling. Kanye said, if you calling me, blah, 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 I ain't taking no calls. He was taking calls from someone else. Maybe that was DL's Hughley's way of just getting it out there.
Nah, I'm good. Because you could have texted him. At the end of the day, I'm not. I love you enough to DM you. Hey, bitch, whether you see this or not, I'm loving you. You in my prayers. Whoop-de-whoop. If you love somebody and it's genuine, you pull their coattails. I would never You know what I'm saying? I had a mental breakdown. So I would never want somebody while I was going through my shit whoopty whoopty whoop, because I'm already dealing with people in my life saying, oh, you need to just let this go, this and that, you stupid, you dumb. So again, when you're going through something like that, personal, you don't, everybody's already calling you stupid and dumb. So now you're going on a social platform to degrade me more. Like, man, fuck them, Kanye. Cuss they ass out today.
She said
So
today. Brandon,
Laura,
I'm
Laura and
sorry.
I were talking earlier about this situation. And one of the things that I had noticed, like people really don't look into it like I do, but his car accident that broke his jaw caused him to have traumatic brain injury. One of the
Mhm.
symptoms of traumatic brain injury is that you get early onset dementia. And if you look at dementia symptoms and you look at what Kanye is doing, they're kind of like going hand in hand. He may be developing some dementia because he's paranoid. He's lashing out at random people. He talks in very incoherent times, and he's very rambling. He has these delusions that he's God. I mean, really crazy stuff that he says. Although it's understood that he feels he's really talented, which don't get me wrong, he is, but doesn't take away
Yes, he
from
was.
from the from the seriousness of this problem that he has, and he's not addressing it. I think he's trying to say his talent is too good for him to waste it getting and going in rehab, but that's not why people want him to
I'm,
get the help.
I'm not sure that's what he thinks. I think that rehab for him means that he has to conform to a system. I believe that he doesn't believe in that something's off with him. But what I want to ask though, Brandon, I want to ask you this question. Do you think DL was coming from a place of love, a place of caring, or do you think he was lightweight trying to be shady because Kanye supported Trump?
So DL Hughley is outspoken Democrat. He does lean on the left side. He was not cool with Kanye doing the whole like MAGA stuff. He felt that he was placating to
He's
the
girl, I agree.
crowd because he was with Kardashians. So he was thinking he's what do you call those words? It's the bad one, like Uncle Tom in it up, and
Mm.
like being one of those coons, how they call it. I didn't see it as that. I saw it as like Kanye felt like, why should my color dictate my affiliation? And I felt like that was a very plausible, reasoning, which was okay. You should have always thought like challenge thinking and all that. Like Aaron says, you should always think for yourself. He does that. He just felt that
It
the
does.
policies on the right were a little bit better than the left. I mean, today, I think that's a good plausible, thing to think about. Maybe we should have a Republican president. But anyways, besides the point. So let's look at like what's happening with Kanye and his views on how he thinks his life should be versus what DL Hughley feels. DL Hughley says community is important, and how he was feeling some type of way that Kanye separated himself from that community. He rarely went back to Chicago after he got with Kim. He used to frequent to his old neighborhood and help out and be part of that community. Well, what happened? His mother passes away, and he
And
became
what happened was when you get on, you leave they ask for a white girl.
so he
I'm
he
sorry,
went.
Brandon. I had to say
Yeah,
it.
but if you
You
notice,
still.
he did get separated from his his um his old life of
His
being
root.
part of his old community,
But
reaching out, doing outreaching stuff. He was big philanthropy, and then he went solely into businesses and money. And I think the Kardashians had a role to play in that.
so
And I think DL took offense to it. Really.
okay. I don't think DL took offense to anything. I think
No, I
DL.
mean like back then he did, but
Yeah.
I think today I don't think he has that feeling. But I think it did get out of hand.
So I think DL got a little bit messy because after he tweeted the initial tweet, DL went back on to say, Kanye, it's just too bad that you're acting like a nut, but won't stop Pete from busting one in your wife. Team DL. Now I believe that right
I
there
would
was
have sent niggas to your house too, bitch.
malice. That was
Well,
so
yeah.
malice, and because I don't agree with DL
That's shady.
at all,
Yeah,
but
that's
that was
shady.
so shady. That was
Yeah,
shady.
I
that's
mean,
shady.
all of it. Like you said, that first thing that he said,
that's
that
not.
wasn't coming from a place of,
At
Right.
first
like he was
was.
being petty. Like he was being
Well,
real
yeah,
fucking
that's
petty.
Well,
later.
maybe he was coming from a place of love at first, and then
At
Kanye.
first, and
No, he was
Kanye.
being petty.
No, no,
No.
no,
did some
no.
stuff to
No,
him.
If it was love, then you if he
he would
didn't
have said
accept it,
something
you
different.
stop right there.
But wait,
He need
before,
his ass beat with a wet noodle.
but wait, guys. He said that in response because Kanye said, "I can afford for someone to touch you, and I know where you live. You live in Calabasas." So I believe Dio was like, "Well, since you know where I live at, homie, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be a little bit shady since you're talking about you gonna send goons over here." And so he said, "You know what? I'm gonna take it to the next level and be petty."
Yeah, it
You
was
know,
Kanye that escalated this. That's why I'm saying, like, at first he was saying, "Hey,
well, I
man,
don't
you're
think he
doing some erratic
escalated.
stuff. Get some help."
DL didn't really need to jump in on Kanye's personal matter with Kim.
You know what probably happened is that he called him after he got banned. He probably called him and had a conversation with him and said, "Hey, your behavior is erratic, homie. You might want to go get yourself some help." So Kanye took offense to that and threw it out in the public sphere. I'm telling you, there's probably conversations happening that we don't know about. And
Nah.
they're
Yeah, but you gotta
responding.
remember, people that have mental issue problems, when you say, "Hey, you need mental
Yeah,
issue, or
Vlad
you
does
may
seem like
need
that.
help," that automatically makes them feel like, "Oh, well, why are you against me for this?" You know,
Beef
so
girl, I agree. I agree.
The thing about
If it was
it's
private
never
conversations after that, he wouldn't have put that
No,
fucked up
before
tweet about that
beforehand.
nothing in your wife shit.
No, but that's beforehand. See, this is if you look at the dates of the tweets, those are happening later in the day. And earlier they were probably having conversations prior to this.
Bottom line, if you had love for somebody, even if y'all have a disagreement, you're not supposed to dig deep. That's some bitch ass shit. I don't care what you say.
Pick up that phone.
Especially if you know he's hurt already. That was wrong.
Yeah,
I think he
I
did beat Sparrow. I think that's why it got out of hand.
Yeah,
Because
B
they had an
Sparrow
argument.
said, Sparrow said he should have called him. I agree. He should have called him.
well, let's
But
just say if we go with Brandon said, like, what if he did try to call and like Kanye said he wasn't answering no phones? And let's go back a few years ago when Kanye said that he was trying to call Jay-Z and all of them, and they
And
didn't
they weren't
answer for
returning
him.
his call.
What did
Yep.
Kanye do? He went on toward the public stage and aired stuff out.
he
Yep.
did, yes.
So that's kind of hypocritical that you don't want somebody to do the same thing to you.
Right.
Okay, but Jay-Z and Kanye have a relationship. I ain't never seen him and DL do shit or have a relationship
Well,
like that.
They
Well, they
probably
don't.
do. I mean, you don't.
Yeah,
They
We
don't.
don't
I
have
don't think
to.
they do. I don't think
They
they do.
don't.
Well,
They don't. That's why I
he-
know it wasn't genuine.
But
Oh.
but Kanye has done his dirt too. Look what he did to Taylor Swift. He went up there. He publicly admitted.
We know he
Immediate.
not a saint, but I am team Kanye. Period. Kanye can't do wrong in my eyes because they be fucking with you, Kanye. CL love you, and I'm here to let y'all know.
But let me. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, C. I'm sorry.
No, because y'all always do that. Like, I love Kanye, and I feel like, yeah, sometimes he could be misunderstood, but it seems like every time he act up, everybody want to act like y'all was there before he start acting up, and I don't agree with that.
Oh,
Don't
I was
try
there
to.
before. I was there before he started acting up. I was there when he was still a producer before he got picked up by Rock, or where he was
I
underground.
was there too, so I
But
genuinely
what I'm
love
saying, it
him.
was
Kanye,
after the accident that caused all the problems. You gotta look at
Now,
gotta really pay attention to the public sphere, traumatic brain injury, and the degradation. He's literally having his
they're
brain
not
is
gonna think about
degenerating.
the CTE
well,
until
we
he do
can't
some
say that
fucking
he's
off the
having
wall.
a degenerate
And then that's too late,
degeneration
Jay. That's
or
too
whatever.
late, Jazz.
because
Because
you
Too
could be
late.
schizophrenic from that too.
records. So we
Mhm.
can't say that because we don't have Kanye's medical records. So
We
I
don't
don't want
need to. I
don't
know
wanna
for a
speak.
fact he has it because he
No, you
got hit
can't know.
in
You
the
can't
face.
know for a fact
He
unless
had
you've
he
seen his
had a
medical
car
records.
wreck. He had his jaw wired shut. He literally had head injury. He didn't
But we
say
don't
that.
know. But we don't know the extent of his head injury, so we can't
It
say
doesn't
that.
matter how bad. Okay, so whenever you
I
get
want
hit
Brandon
in
to
the
fill
head,
out my FMLA too. Give me
when you
me and
get
Kanye all that.
when you get hit in the head and you go into a concussion state, which he was concussed. All right. He got concussed. If you get a concussion, it's considered traumatic brain injury. Okay. Means a
A
traumatic
concussion is
event
where your
happened.
brain hits your skull and bruises your brain. Just so the people that
Exactly.
don't know, but
Yes.
continue.
Yes, there you go. And those bruises are like scars. They're scar tissue. And they don't go away. What happens is parts of the brain start to go and stop working properly. If he got hit in the face, his frontal lobe got hit. If he bruised his frontal lobe, You know where all your decision making is, right? You know where that's all at right here? Your cognitive thoughts and everything happen here. You bruise this, your behavior changes, and it will change over time. So if you pay attention to what's been happening the last 10 years, literally to the, like, you could look at it, 2012 Kanye to 2022 Kanye are two different people.
What I'm trying to say to you is, we
Scary.
cannot say that that's from a concussion, or that's from him being in a coma, or that's from the car accident, because he could have ate some raw sushi, got a parasite. Parasite could have been affecting him. If we do not have his medical record sitting in front of us, we
Then
cannot.
why is everybody telling him to go get help?
Because
I understand that, but we can still make correlations. I don't think he's wrong for his correlations.
But there's so many things that I can have symptoms of side pain, right? Most people say you have side pains, you either have kidney stones, or you're gonna need your appendix out, or you need what's that other little thing over there? Gallbladder. There's so many things that we can say is wrong with him just from symptoms. Symptoms are so vast that they can correlate to any disease, anything. So we cannot assume that it's just from that car accident without having his medical records in front of us and him fully telling us everything that's wrong with him. Now we can assume. It is safe to assume. Now we know
Kim, go home. Hashtag Kim, take your ass home. Just go home, Kim.
Listen, we know he has bipolar because he's told us that.
Shut up, Anthony.
But I want to get into something else. Why I'm mad at Kanye, because C seem to think we don't like Kanye here. I'm a big Kanye fan.
Yeah, because I didn't even know we was gonna be doing Kanye like this. I would have stayed at home.
I always bat for Kanye, but this particular time I can't, because what he did is, Kanye, you can't speak and talk down to the Black community like, oh, we're always committing crimes and we don't stand up for each other, or we're doing this and this and this and that, and then you publicly go after that man, and then you send your goon after him, but you talk about all the crime that we commit against each other, and you basically Uncle Tom it up, because that's what he does sometimes. You Uncle Tom it up with people against us, and then you go and you do the same thing. Kanye spoke about changing communities and changing the mindset and trying to get us to stop committing crimes against each other. But my whole thing was, you went after the Black man, right? You sent the goons after the Black man, but the man who laid in the bed, who happens to be a white man next to your wife and telling you he's in bed with your wife, you ain't sent nobody for him. So it was okay for you to come after the Black man, but you can't keep that same energy for the white man. So that's a hypocrite right there.
No. I'm gonna put race to the left because everything is pink when the lights is off. So I ain't even mad at that.
No, we can't play that. We can't play that. See, because race does play a part. Because he sat here and he wanted to jump for the Black man. He jumped for the Black man, but where was your same energy for the white man? Because he knew he could not meet Pete Davidson with that type of violence. The only thing he can do is fantasize it and put in his video. He couldn't actually go out there and do it. But he actually sent somebody.
He just hasn't done it yet. We talk about Kanye. He just hasn't done it yet. Don't get it twisted.
So you telling me that I'm going to come for the man who said I need mental health, I need to go take a Xanax before I come for the man who publicly disrespect me, the guy who's always with my children.
His wife is the one who publicly disrespected him by bringing that man into their mix. That's number one. Number two, this is the issue I'm having. You cannot slap me and tell me I can't shoot you in your face. Like I get so frustrated when people be like, you can disrespect me. If I pop, you got to pop me back. No, if you pop me on my arm like this and I punch you in the face, you can't tell people how to respond when you feel disrespected. And I feel like that's what y'all doing to Kanye.
No, we're telling him you keep that same energy for the white man. You keep that same energy for the white man who laid in that bed next to your wife and disrespected you. Like
he disrespected him as his girlfriend by sending a whole thing. He just fighting him differently, but I think he's coming for him as well.
Nah, see, there's a thing in our community how we'll tiptoe. So this is what I'm gonna speak to, and this is where race comes in for me. In the Black community, we have this thing where people say we commit crimes, Black on Black crimes, and we'll commit it on each other, and we'll commit crimes against each other at a higher rate than we'll go into a different community that's not Black and commit crimes against them. You Black men, brown men are scared to commit crimes against people of different races because they know it's a harsher punishment. there's a harsher punishment for someone of my color. If I go up there and smack someone who's Caucasian, yo, they're gonna throw the book at me. If a Caucasian woman was to come up and smack me, she's gonna get probation. So what I am just saying is that Kanye should hold Pete Davidson to the same standard as DL. You came for DL.
I mean, he should, but I feel like the reason why he's not doing that is because, like, he's already halfway close to getting canceled. So doing something like that is really going to cancel him all the way. That's how I feel.
He's already canceled, though.
He's already canceled. He's already canceled. He can't go to the Grammys. So
he's banned on Instagram.
Yeah, you're right.
So let's see back in. So it's okay for him to because he's worried about getting canceled. It's okay for him to go after DL, but if he goes after Pete, he's gonna for sure be canceled. You know why? Sure. He's gonna because he's still a black man in America.
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't feel like black on black crime even exists. I just feel like they make that correlation because that's if you're a black and you live in that community, you're gonna kill a black person versus a white person in that community that doesn't really exist. They're typically not there. So I feel like that data is skewed when people say black on black crime. I don't believe that it exists.
Black on black crime is an argument point that Republicans and certain people be able to use against us whenever any type of crime.
That's one thing Kanye uses against us.
Yeah, but if you actually look statistically, like
white on white crime exists, but if they only live by white people, they're gonna kill white people.
No, they're not. If listen, when the protest
in Hubbard. The top person that's getting killed in Hubbard is white because it's predominantly white in Hubbard. The person that's predominantly killed in Youngstown is black because they live in Youngstown amongst other black people. So I feel like it doesn't exist. You kill who you around. You commit crimes for the people that live around you.
So that's an okay argument, but let me just kind of bring this. So when people were protesting in Ferguson, right? They were burning down their own community. The black community was down there burning down their own community. They did not walk over to the suburbs and burn down the suburbs. Do you know why they didn't do that? Because they knew that the military force that they sent out, the reserves, the National Guard was going to definitely meet them with more violence that they felt. If you were destroying white communities, they would have felt bullets would have been more appropriate instead of rubber bullets and bean bags. So we can't.
All right. I gotta tell you about that. A National Guard cannot shoot civilians unless martial law is declared. If you did that years ago, Brennan.
You remember they did that years ago, and
they did burn down a Target out there in Ferguson too. Those white people was real mad they had to file insurance.
Here's the thing: they didn't go ahead and destroy.
I can pull that up. So I would think it was like in the 70s or something. It was a protest, a college protest, and they killed the protesters there. So they're not supposed to be met with force, just like we're not supposed to be able to bomb on American soil. But what happened down there on in
Oklahoma?
Yes, Oklahoma. That happened. So let's not say what can't happen because it can happen and it has.
No. What you said that incident that wasn't a gun related incident. No person in a service uniform.
That was a gun incident. What I'm talking about.
That person got charged.
No, they did not. It was multiple people. They did not get charged.
So whenever you use a weapon and you're a service member, and I'm going to tell you what the UCMJ says, the Uniform Code of Military Justice says, unless martial law has been declared, meaning the National Guard's taken over, it's a military occupation of that town. And there's nothing that you can say or do because their laws, your free rights are gone. When martial law is declared on a community, there is no rights of those people. So the National Guard are told not to use deadly force unless authorized. And if someone authorized that deadly force, then that's when that comes. But martial law has to be declared.
I got it for you. Okay, I'm about to give you some facts, my friend. Okay, National Guard.
I feel like this show should be called "Come Argue with Alora" because we just trying to make our point,
girlfriend.
I argue with you all night.
Listen, I'm gonna give my points in too. I like to give good information. So when you guys, like how B is telling us something, I want to be able to give him proof because he's saying something. He says this can't happen, but this has happened. This
No,
has
I'm saying
happened.
it's not supposed to be that
It's
You
way.
not.
said supposed to. It should not. Meaning it shouldn't happen, but shit happens sometimes.
But listen, there's a lot of viewers out here who don't know the history of art of the USA. Okay, so
Okay, we listen.
when he's saying something like that, there's some people out here like, oh yeah, the National Guard would never do that. So you guys basically combated me against what I was just saying, right? So I gotta come with proof, right?
We
Come on,
listening.
bring
We
it.
all got
Give me,
our
give
hand
me
like
that. Give me
this.
the thing.
Come
Give me
on
the
with
thing.
it, sis.
Girlfriend, I'm coming for me.
I'm waiting. I
Okay,
just
all right,
said
I got you guys. Because this is something I studied in school. You know what I'm saying? It says on May 4th, 1970, in Kent, Ohio. This happened in our state, Ohio. 28 National Guardsmen fired their weapons at a group of anti-war demonstrators on the Kent State University campus, killing 4 students, wounding 8, and permanently paralyzing another. The tragedy was a watershed moment for a nation divided by conflict in Vietnam and further the anti-war movement. 2 days earlier, on May 2nd, National Guard troops were called to Kent to suppress students rioting and protesting of Vietnam War and the U.S. invasion of Cambodia. So,
Yep.
that
What happened after the fact? You told me the incident, but you didn't tell me what was the punishment. Because there's no way those guys got off clean. No way.
They were discharged. Wait, they discharged more than 70 rounds.
shut up.
Federal court dropped charges against 8 Ohio National Guardsmen in their role of Kent State student deaths. So when you guys are saying like, I'm taking over, I like to.
But you also referenced the 70s, so you got to remember what was happening back then. It was a time that there was a conflict that was very highly not supported by the American public. And I believe it was during the time that, what's his name? The guy who goes like this. Oh my gosh, he got hit with the dang Watergate crap. President Nixon was president at that time, during that war. So during that time, Nixon was president during that time, and then I believe after that it was Ford. So they had these guys out there, right? So to help try to deter this problem of rioting. So we don't know the extent of this cause for them to fire upon them, but it had to have been just cause. Now I'm telling you, deadly force is not, what I'm saying is deadly force is not supposed to be used unless it's authorized, unless you feel your life is in danger and everybody else's life is around you to protect the community.
I could read more into it. They didn't have no type. They didn't have
any punishments, right? But I'm saying in the 70s versus today, if you look and send the National Guard today, no incidents occur because there's so many more restrictions on these.
There were incidents that occurred when the National Guards came. They didn't kill anyone with bullets, but there were a lot of things that was happening.
What I'm telling you is use of deadly force is not authorized. And if they shot, they learned that lesson because they know about that problem. So they didn't give National Guardsmen any bullets. They gave them rubber bullets. They gave them pellets. They gave them tear gas. They gave them crowd deterrence.
That still proves to my point that Black people know when they were protesting down there in Ferguson, do not take your ass over there to the suburbs. Because if you took your butts over there to the suburbs, you say that happened then in the 70s. There is nothing too much different now because those protesters that were there were peaceful. There was a lot of people there that was peaceful, and they still got met with tear gas and a lot of other things. So for me to say in my mind that I don't think that could happen in today's climate, I would be a fool. I'd be a fool because America.
I wouldn't say that, but I don't think that there was a fear not to go into the suburbs. I think they just didn't.
Nope, it was. Right. It was blocked.
My opinion.
They had
my opinion on towards that.
Go ahead, Aaron. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Aaron.
My opinion on towards that is the fact is that us Black people have tried everything to be able to protest and say how we are being treated wrong. I don't think that it's about the fact that they wasn't going to go to the suburbs. It's about the fact of destroying things that white people own in our neighborhoods. That's the reason why we went towards all these businesses that are in our neighborhoods owned by white people that we built. We built this country, and yet we're treated like crap. But every time we want to be able to protest something and we try a peaceful way, but minorities, mostly black people. This country was built by slavery. That was mostly African Americans. Other people, other races can go ahead and try to say that they was a part of this too, but this was mostly us. This was
Right.
free labor. This country is built off of free labor. And so many white families profited off of the fact that now we're living in poverty while they're living in luxury. And every time that we want to protest something, we're met with tear gas or we're terrorists or things like that. So, yes, let's go destroy some stuff. If it's ours, so what? It's ours. We're going to burn this whole city down.
For one match.
Yeah, we shouldn't burn
But
no.
let a white person do it.
We
They say they got
we
a
may
mental illness. Why
we
when
may
we
not
ride, we don't get mental illness said about us? We just get called thugs, Alora.
That's what I'm saying. And I was trying to prove. I was trying to get
Yeah.
to that. See, Kanye right now. If Kanye would have came after Pete Davidson, it wouldn't have been mental issues. It would have been he was a thug. But because he's coming after DL, it's okay. It's acceptable. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, it's his bipolar disorder. Oh, it's this disorder." You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, we can't say because he didn't come for DL in the same light that he was, oh, it's his bipolar acting up today, so that's why he came for DL. But he's perfectly sane when it comes to Pete Davidson. I just hate that.
No, he went for DL because DL was talking shit. Let's acknowledge it didn't have shit to do with his mental. Even if he was straight as a person that's mentally sane most of the time, if DL would have said that shit to me, I'm coming for his ass too. Completely sane.
Yeah, I mean,
Honestly, he went.
I believe that too.
Honestly, he went for DL because DL's a comedian. So he felt like there's nothing that's going to happen to him. Let's be for real. If this would have been another rapper that said the same things about him, Kanye would have shut that down. He would have just been like, no, I ain't going to do nothing to him. Like if that had been like a Jay-Z or 50 Cent,
Well,
one of them would have said
Nick
something.
Cannon them
Huh?
did 50. They did. He didn't come for them.
Yeah, he's not going to.
He
I
Well,
think
Yeah, no,
Fifty's
DL
a
just
dog.
jumping
because
in
He's
it
a
to be
thug.
he
He's
relevant.
a
gonna
thug.
sue him and he
I
gonna
wouldn't
own.
mess with
So
50.
yeah.
nobody gonna
50
come
got
for 50.
corporate, but he's still thuggish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but Kanye ain't
my
looking at
whole
that
thing
part.
is I really believe that if Kanye would have came, if he would have matched that same energy to Pete, I believe that he would be in jail right now. I
But
believe that.
he didn't do nothing but fuck his wife. Men gonna fuck what they
No,
gonna fuck anyway. So it ain't no real beef there
Kanye
anyway.
said.
I mean,
Kanye
it's not
said.
like his wife was a saint. I mean, it's Kim Kardashian of all
Yeah,
people.
you
So
know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
I think it was the fact that there's this rumors spreading around that Pete Davidson made a joke about molesting babies, sexual
Yeah,
assault,
that was a joke he put
and
out, and it was
No, it
very
and
was
serious.
years
that did
ago
not.
before he was ever with Kim.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
but if you
You
make a
don't
joke
joke
about
about
that,
babies. That's sick.
Here's the thing:
Sick.
if you go back and watch the video, he made it was a joke about an imaginary
was it
baby.
on like
I
Saturday
don't give a
Night Live
shit.
or
I can't
Yeah,
even
something?
think
Or
about no shit like that because I'm
that's
ready
still
to.
fucking weird.
That's sick.
That's
That's
still
really
weird.
dark shit. But you have to think about it as a man. You're a father. You hear a man make a joke like that and your children around him. You ain't gonna be comfortable with that. And I think that type of thing, I would be more concerned with my children being around Pete. Because Kanye said, "Oh, Pete, you out the hospital now," and blah blah blah. He's like, "Yeah." So Kim, she's just. I would have to take this up on Kim too. But I normally Team Kanye, but I really feel like Kim needs to be held accountable too for some of this breakdown because like she owns some other stuff. You got this man around your kids and you left the dad because you said the dad had mental health issues. We all know that Pete Davidson or Davis, whatever his name is, has mental health issues. He's trying to commit suicide and he's been in really dark places. But it's
But
okay.
he's
But I think we all
manipulated,
have some
though.
form of mental health issues though, so I can't really judge it based on that.
I'm
He's
not gonna
he's
judge
he's
it,
actually
but you bash
addressing it,
his father though. You bash
but he's
the
addressing it
husband.
though. But he's addressing his mental health issues. That's the difference between Pete Davidson and Kanye. And why is Kim with Pete Davidson, who's outspoken about it? But Kanye goes, "Oh yeah, I have this," and then acts like it's nothing.
Well, there's a lot of things with this thing with Pete. So allegedly, Pete Davidson sent Mac Miller that same message that he sent Kanye, and the night that Mac Miller killed himself, and that's why Ariana Grande did not allegedly. That's why she did not marry him. There was that same thing. So that's kind of sick because there's things out here where he done made sick jokes about a baby. He possibly pushed someone towards suicide. So why would that father want that toxic man around his children, but yet his mental health is being challenged and he can't be the father that he wants to be? I stick up for Kanye through all of that, but I felt like Kanye, if you was gonna come for Pete, match that same. I mean, with DL, match that same energy, bro.
DL, yeah.
I didn't know
Why
that.
are we promoting violence? Nobody needs to match energy. Sometimes we just need to walk away. What about peace?
There's
That's what
something
I'm
CL.
saying. I would have left it
CL.
alone.
CL. You know, there's certain disrespect that you might have to go out there.
I'd rather
and put them
Nope.
paws on them.
Nope, because it's better to live another day than to take someone's life over something petty. Because you
They
look
gotta
back
die,
10
I
years from
mean-
now, what are the words gonna do 10 years from now? Not a
They ain't
damn
gotta-
thing. No one's
They ain't
people
gotta
gonna
die
forget
from
about
Brandon.
that
An
shit.
ass whooping is an ass whooping.
That's true,
Nope.
though. I agree with that.
You walk away from all that stuff because you know it's petty. Because all these words that are being transpired that are being transferred from each other, 10 years from now, you're gonna look at it like, what was I so upset about? You're gonna get to a point in your life where you're gonna look back and you're like, man, I got upset over some dumb shit. And if you really take an inventory of your entire life, there's not one time you can say you never got upset over something that was super petty because we all did it.
Right.
And if
But
you look back, and
But you know what,
it's
though?
we've all done it.
How do you feel about how Trevor Noah handled him? Because Trevor didn't really kind of go the way DL went. Trevor was just like, listen, this dude need help. I'm not tripping basically about what he's saying. Y'all trying to cancel old boy.
He ignored
We ain't
it.
trying to cancel him. We just nah, chill. I ain't say cancel him. He Kanye.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he has the most sensible outtake on this, which is, hey man, go get you some help. I'm here to support you if you're willing to do it, but I'm gonna leave you alone.
Right.
Because he doesn't want any of that fire, right?
He was
Because
genuine.
he's shit right now. He's a wet, stinky pile of shit. And if you touch him, then that's gonna be on you
Damn,
too.
B, that's why he gotta be all that.
Because what's happening is his behavior is so toxic that his own people are gonna turn his back on him. And that's what's happening. He's losing everything he's ever worked for. He will lose all his business dealings. He will lose his record deals. He will lose his entire sponsorships with everything he's ever done because already he got canceled 2 times. Instagram don't want him, and the Grammys don't want him. That's just the start. If he hasn't stopped by now, it's just gonna get worse from here. You can take that to the bank.
You like how Trevor Noah handled that? That's how you like.
Just
you
don't
like
don't feed it. Don't feed it.
That's how DL should have handled it if he was genuine and cared about him. You're not when you fight with a crazy person to make your ass just as crazy,
Right.
and that's what his ass get.
That's
I
true.
think at first that's what he was trying to do was help him, but he's a comedian as well. So what happened is Kanye threw some shade at him, and he's
I
like,
bet it
"Oh,
ain't funny
forgot,
that
I'm
the
a
goons
comedian.
is at his door."
I know how to come back on people."
I can't imagine DL trying to fight. He probably sitting there trying to tell a joke. Like
DL was damn near in tears today. You ain't have to send these niggas to my house. Eat a dick.
So CL, all right. Put yourself in just a general friend shoes. I'm out here on Facebook and I'm spiraling. I'm up here talking about I hate my life, I hate my marriage, I'm gonna burn down my house and I'm gonna kill everybody that I know, right?
Leonard, run.
How would you handle that situation? How would you address that?
It all depends on how close we are. First, I'm gonna reach out to you. If that don't work, I'm gonna pull up on you because I'm that friend. I'm that person. Everybody know I'm gonna pull up because I love you that much. And sometimes the way I handle things with my friends and people I love, I gotta put my eyes on you. Let me hug you.
Right.
And sometimes all people need is a hug, understanding. They don't always need a fucking dissertation on why they're wrong or why you're stupid and why you're dumb. Sometimes people just need a hug or support. Like, you know what? I got you. You want a drink? I'm that friend. I bring handles when I come through. Like, bitch, let's just drink. Fuck these kids. Fuck this house. Or I might be your girlfriend. Like, burn this bitch up and let's have shots. You paid your insurance, bitch? All right, bet.
Crazy. I appreciate that because I would, you know what, I would respect that. I would say I would respect that. I would think I would rather for one of my friends to come to me and talk to me before I spiral out.
We're so alone in the states that we are in. We need somebody familiar to come see us and actually check on us and not just call.
He's isolated, man. He's being kept away from all the ones that could help him. And that's and it's just he's in his own head. Like you were saying, Olori, you said you saw a couple of videos.
How handle it too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You saw in a couple of the videos that he posted on Instagram is how he pauses a lot.
Yeah.
And he's looking out and blank stares.
Yeah.
So he's in his head a lot. He's very paranoid. He doesn't trust anybody. And that's because they've proven all the trust he would put in people, they've let him down. So
Right.
he's at that point in his life that it doesn't matter who tries to
He got
reason
too
with
many
him.
industry. He got too many industry friends. I think Kanye needs someone who isn't there for clout. I think a lot of people, because Kanye said this, he said he gets a lot of support um, behind doors, but no one really supports him publicly. And maybe that's what DL thought he was doing. No, that wasn't no support. Maybe some of his real friends need to step up and say, "Listen, my brother, I'm here for you. I'm not going to judge you. If you need to come over here, like she said, and get a hug, I'm gonna give you a hug. If we need to go to counseling together, I will go to counseling with you. I would join you in counseling. I would join you in prayer. But I also think that we have to just, not kind of make when you make people. I believe when you make people feel so crazy, you shut out the idea of seeking help because they're going to go into any situation thinking everyone has the same mindset about them, that they crazy and they can't operate on their day-to-days. They don't want to be seen as babies. I think that's my opinion. But question, Hannah, I have a question. So what I asked C, how would you uh, how would you want your friends, Jack, to handle you if you were going through crisis? What would not be offensive to you?
Um, I mean, honestly, nothing would really be offensive. I would want my friends to come and check on me, but I wouldn't want them to do it like through social media or anything like that. Like actually come to me, get me out the house, do whatever it is, to get me out of whatever funk that I'm in.
I get that. Yeah. Aaron,
Easy.
same question.
Um, Pretty much. I mean, with my friend, like, I mean, as long as they being genuine and honest with however they feel, should nothing be off limits for them to say to me. But it all depends on towards like what friend it is, because it can't be like no friend I ain't talked to in like 5 years, and then you coming up trying to give me your advice. Like I don't give a fuck about your punk ass advice, cuz. Like where
Lord.
the hell you been at for 5 years?
Okay, Brandon.
All right. So being honest with myself, and I believe a lot of the people, if you're watching or you're going to see this later, when it comes to receiving help, you don't want to be checked on your behavior. Nobody here wants that. No one wants to be told that they're acting a certain way because you're going to feel like I'm a grown person. I do what I want,
Uh-huh.
right? But then we don't see the consequences of our actions till later. To when it comes to a point that it's we're breaking laws or we're burning bridges. So for me, when I found my rock bottom, I checked myself into a voluntary hold at a psychiatric care. It was the best thing I did. See, you don't realize how much you can cause your own downfall until you actually have put yourself in a position of no return. And that's what happened to me all them years ago. So what I did recently is, I went to see my doctor because I started feeling that feeling of manic again, and I was scared because I'm like, last time I had something wild like this, it ended badly. So, it's okay, it's okay to go and seek help, but you have to want that help.
You don't want the help. Yeah.
You can't just go up to somebody if they don't want your help, because all you're then going to do is you're going to get that pushback, and you're going
Brandon,
to
but sometimes we don't know we need help.
and
So
that's
you have
what
to,
I'm saying.
and that's the issue. It's not that we don't want help, but sometimes when you in that shit and you see that shit coming, you have blinders on. You don't even know that you need help. You just going through the motions. Like women that get postpartum. We don't
Rock
know we need
bottom.
help. We
You got
changing that baby. We doing this. We doing that. Fuck that baby. I really don't like it, but I know naturally my body's in autopilot and I have to take care of this kid. But we don't know that we need help. We don't know that we're depressed. And
right.
sometimes our family around us don't know either. But I'm gonna let somebody else have it.
And I
But that's
agree with
good
that.
that
Like
you
I
acknowledge
agree.
that you need the help.
I agree
it's
with
it's
that.
sometimes it's really hard to be able to look at yourself. Like
Hmm.
like I was telling my brother one day, I didn't realize how smart of a mouth that I can have until I heard him talk.
Me too.
Like, and I was like, I talk the same exact way. Like, I can see why me and my wife butt heads sometimes because I've done that. And sometimes that's what it takes is for you to see it from some or for somebody else to actually come to you and tell you like you wrong, for you to actually be put in check. So I'm okay with somebody putting me in check and telling me like, hey Aaron, you wrong. I ain't gonna argue with you about it, especially if I can look back at myself and be like, you wanna know what? I'm wrong. I may argue with you at first because, like you said, Brandon, don't nobody want to be put in check.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna look at it afterwards and be like, you want to know what? They right. I was wrong.
I mean, I agree. Oh, C popped out. I had a question for her. Okay. Well, let me apologize, guys, because I was getting, I get passionate over here. And I over talk people. Well, B, I'm sorry if I got a little bit
Nah, you all right.
overheated. See, if you can hear me, boo, I love you. I'm sorry. I get passionate. It's just, sometimes sometimes I'm like real serious about this stuff, man. Listen.
Mm-hmm.
I really want Kanye to get help, yo. You know why? Because I've almost went to Facebook and spiraled out when I was going through some stuff. Like let me tell you guys, COVID like pushed me in this corner where I felt alone. I felt isolated. I was cut off from so many people. We was locked in the house. We was been on punishment for so long. And that was so difficult because I'm the type of person, I like to be outdoors. I like to go places. I like to go bowling. I like to go to the movies. I like to do so much. And I found myself in a corner, balled up, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me at all. And it took literally 2 years. I'm not going to lie. It took 2 years for me to realize I was going through depression. But no one else noticed that I was going through depression. No one. It took for me to have a certain type of thought and me about to go to Facebook and I say, yo, this isn't natural. What you're thinking, what you're feeling is not natural. You need to seek help immediately. And that's what I did. And like C said, sometimes you don't know that you're going through. Like I said, 2 years. 2 years, right. I did not know that I needed help. But
think about it is that Kanye know he needs that help, but he's not going to get the help. Well, let me rephrase that. He's going to get the help. He's going to get the help when he goes to prison because he is going to kill her. I don't care what nobody say. He is going to kill her.
You're going to go full OJ on her?
Like seriously, he's going to kill her.
Let's pray that that's not what he's going to do.
I mean, I hope that doesn't happen, but it's like when you see like his patterns and all that, he's going to, I'm telling you. I can see it going that way. Or either he's going to do something drastic to himself and then they're going to pull his brain out and then see the whole time that, like how Brandon said he had that CTE, but like I said, it has to take him doing something drastic for them to see that. Like I said, even with Aaron Hernandez, for example, you know what I mean? Like they said they didn't look into that until after he was in prison and killed himself. And then they're like, oh, well, and then now here it is. Who else? There's somebody else. It was a wrestler. I think Chris Benoit. I think it was. He was.
Oh, the one.
Hey! I'm not gonna let y'all say that about Chris Benoit because I honestly looked at this story and I feel like that was his ex-wife. I feel like somebody killed Chris Benoit.
No, hell no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They did an investigation.
If you want to know, we can have a whole episode on towards this one because I'll debate this. I will debate the hell out of this.
We should definitely go into
that.
Yes.
Listen, I watched the story,
the Dark Side of the Ring,
the investigation that they did. With
not
that,
even if you go beyond the Dark Side of the Ring, Chavo Guerrero said that he talked to Chris Benoit the day before they was killed.
Yeah.
He said that he was on the phone with him, and Chris said that there was a knock at the door. He heard a scuffle, and then the phone died, and he never talked to Chris after that. He only talked to him through text. And let's be for real, Chris Benoit's wife used to be married to another wrestler that hated Chris. That's the reason why he left WCW, because he made sure that Chris got no good matches. And he already swore up and down that he was going to do something to him.
Okay.
And whatever way,
I still think all of that all together just caused him to snap and cue. That's what I think. But like I said, if we can have a whole episode to debate on that, I'm all for that shit.
So we're always talking about Kanye's mental health here at the Lauren Hour podcast. And I don't want anyone to ever feel attacked about what they're going through mentally, because mental health is not no joke. And DL was definitely wrong if he went to not Facebook, but Twitter to antagonize that man's mental health state. That was not okay. There were some things that he said that were valid. it was lightweight stalking. And some people, they don't see that, and they thinking like, oh, no, I'm just trying to get my marriage back. But there comes a point where, like I said, you have to draw a line, and you have to realize that at this point, it's just stalking. If a person keeps telling you no, I don't want this and I don't want that. But also, people should not send mixed signals. Do not do that, because that would confuse a person who wants something so bad, and then you like to toy with them. So there are people out there who toy with people mentally when they already know someone's going through it, just to hold that little glimmer of hope, or to make them feel better that they have this person pining over them like that. So we do have people like that out there. But also, I wanted to kind of say some things. I do believe, we know that Kanye suffers from mental health disorder and this bipolar disorder, but I don't think Kanye is crazy. So Bizarre Journal released an article saying the 10 craziest things Kanye West has ever said. And the reason why I want to touch on this, because people throw out the word crazy. Like, people are so quick to throw out labels. We know he's bipolar, but bipolar does not always equal crazy. Okay.
I don't think he's crazy. I think it's more like, I always will say, I will tell this to anybody that has anything to say about Kanye. Before his mom died, he was fine. After his mom died, that's when his life literally, y'all seen it. You know what I mean? Because his mom, y'all see that documentary, like, his mama was his fucking world. So for her to be gone like that, that's contributing to part of why. Because if his mama was still alive, you already know for a fact he would not be out on Twitter, Instagram, making himself look like an asshole, because she wouldn't be having it.
Yep.
Right.
She died not too long ago, right?
No, it was
I think it was 2012, 2013, something like that, when his mom died.
Okay.
It's before that. He died. She died before I had kids.
Was it? You know what? Hold on. Let me Google this real quick.
It was probably in 2009. I think it was in 2009.
She died 2007, actually.
2007. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So we can't.
I mean, like, that's where his life started.
Neither.
I mean, no, but some guys, like, I mean, with how he grew up and all that, it was just them too. Like, he had that connection with his mom that most people probably don't have, with their parents. So for them to lose them like that, like, I mean, like, I have a connection, like, say, like that, for example, with my grandma. You know what I mean? Like, if something was to happen, God forbid, to my grandma, 10 years later, I'm still gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still gonna feel it. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say I would use it as an excuse to be stupid or nothing, but it's just like, it's hard. It's hard. Mm-hmm. I mean, because my mom is still living, so I can't really,
Right.
So.
I mean, I lost my father at 17, and that was like my best friend, and that was the hardest thing that I've ever went through, and it was tough for a while. Like, that first 2 weeks, I didn't move out the house. I didn't go to bed. I ain't comb my hair. I ain't do none of that. Mm-hmm. So it was really tough. So I can't speak to no one's pain, because everyone handles pain and grief differently. But I wanted to address this real quick. So I just don't like that everyone always throws out crazy. So this article said that 10 craziest things that Kanye West said. Number 1, on his personal brand, Kanye said, "I am a Warhol. I am the number 1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. I'm going to be the first straight hip hop, loud celebrity, non-etiquette, having black out all the time, fresh ass, super tasteful designer of all time. I'm going to be Tupac of clothing."
But his clothes is ugly. Like, his shoes is ugly. It looks like. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of him. I would never spend my money on that shit.
I know people who spend a lot of money.
I would never.
But we always tell people, believe in your brand. That is the one thing that we say here at the Lauren Hour, because you may not like his brand, but there is like thousands of others who do. So believe in your brand. And no matter how much people told him he couldn't do it and his stuff was garbage, he is making money off of that brand.
I mean, true.
2, keeping him calm. So this is supposed to be craziest things that he said. First comment, I don't see nothing crazy about that. Second one, he says, "My girl set me up with a meeting with the Deepak Chopra." What is it?
Deepak Chopra. Which is he's a guru.
Oh, that's what's the name? The Jonas Brothers father, his wife, the wife's father. Was it? Whatever her name is. Okay. I said, babe, you know what calms me down the most success. You can't meditate me out of my ideas. You can't sedate me. What calms me down is success. So someone told him that in order for him, I hear a lot of people out here in the streets. They be like, listen, I can't relax if I'm broke. I can't sit around and be laid up with no one if I'm not making money. So basically, he said if he's not being successful or making money, he's not going to be calm. He need to be out here hustling. I don't see nothing wrong with that. That is not crazy.
Can you? Can I?
Go ahead.
All right. What he said there, yeah, grind. Okay, it's okay to like feel like you need to constantly be on a workhorse to gain your brand, is what you were saying, increasing your portfolio. There's nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with always striving for better. What this dude is saying though are clear-cut symptoms of called delusions of grandeur. Those are delusions of grandeur. Okay, he may feel like he's this, but reality has to set in at one point and tell him, hey man, you can reach for the stars all you want, but you're not the star. You reach for them, but you ain't the one.
But you can't.
He's Eskimo.
I would disagree with that, because I can be in a room with 15 accomplished people, right? But in my mind, I'm gonna think that I'm greater than them because I have to think that way. That's different from him actually.
We
don't know his context of that.
No, we do. You haven't gone further then. You need to go further then, because there's some stuff he says that I've seen him say it, and I said, homie, you going way too far.
Well, I feel like he's just confident in himself, okay? Brandon. That one's going too far.
That's exactly what it is. It's just his confidence. I mean, I feel him. I'm the same way. Like if I walk in a room with 40 people, I don't give a fuck if Obama and Trump and Biden and everybody else is in there. I'm gonna think I'm better than everybody, and I don't give a fuck what nobody gotta say.
Right. That's he's oozing self-confidence. I don't
look up delusions of grandeur, because that dude's totally he's textful.
So you saying I'm delusional because I think that too?
Right.
No, delusions of grandeur. Look it up, because it's a literal textbook inside of mental illness. And one of those is a sign of bipolar.
I'm a little bit crazy. Just a little.
Yeah, me too. Just a smidge.
I mean, I can't say the bipolar, but I mean, I will go from 0 to 100 real fucking quick.
Okay, let's move on now. So it says his legacy. At the end of the day, I'm going down as a legend, whether you like me or not. I am the new Jim Morrison. I am the new Kurt Cobain.
So he's gonna off himself?
Hopefully.
That's what those guys died early from.
Well, they might have off themselves, but they were legends and people loved them.
Didn't Jim Morrison
technically they didn't restage stardom until they killed themselves.
Yep.
Okay, maybe that one was a little off. Okay. So this one, number 5, on his true calling. I'm like a vessel, and God has chosen me to be the voice of the connector. I don't see nothing crazy with that. Christians say that every day in church. And Catholics. Yeah, everyone wants to say that.
He never said that. He called himself literal, I am God. Like he was sitting in the studio in an interview, and I looked at him like, what the freak is wrong with you?
Well, this is what they're saying. He said this article, they're quoting him. So it says, on his vision of the future, number 6, I will be the leader of my company that ends up being worth billions of dollars because I got the answers. I understand culture. I am a nucleus.
I don't think he understands the culture, but I mean, he did make his company $1 billion. So
he did, because he believed in his brand.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell y'all the year this was published too. Okay, so number 7, on his greatest regret. My greatest pain in life is that I would never be able to see myself perform live.
That's a little crazy. I mean, you can easily tape yourself and watch it.
Get it.
Oh, because he can't watch himself live. Okay, never mind.
That's a narcissist.
No one can do that.
That's dumb.
Okay, that was a little bit. That was a questionable one. That was a questionable one. So far we only had 1.5. Because we're not going to say the other one is a full crazy question statement. Number 8, on his ego. One of my biggest Achilles heels have been my ego. And if I, Kanye West, can remove my ego, I think there's hope for everyone. Lord Jesus, where have you removed your ego? When?
He hasn't.
He hasn't. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Kanye.
But
pretty
I
much it.
think that he's just trying to say that it's possible for him to remove his ego. He just ain't done it.
Okay, we're gonna go with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 9 on what Kanye West really means. I think that Kanye West is going to mean. Wait, I think what Kanye West is going to mean is something similar to what Steve Jobs mean. I am undoubtedly, Steve of the internet downtown
Yeah,
fashion.
yeah, that one was
He
crazy.
called himself
What?
Steve Jobs of the internet.
Yeah,
Okay, because this one just threw me. Because
yeah.
okay,
He's
hold on.
calling
Because he's
himself
like
Steve
breaking the
Jobs. Steve
internet,
Jobs.
basically.
He revolutionized
The
the
internet.
tech world. No, the tech world. He changed the world when he brought out the iMac, and then he
Oh, we
changed
know
the
who
world again when
Steve
he brought
Jobs
the
is.
iPad, and
I'm
then
just
he
trying to
did
figure
it with
out
the
how Kanye
iPod.
referenced himself to this.
Uh,
How did he reference himself
that's,
to this? Like, why? How did he? What?
because pretty much just saying about the way that, like how Brandon just said, like Steve, he revolutionized the whole tech world. Even though between him and Bill Gates, they stole most of the stuff that they actually put out.
True.
But what do Kanye? What I'm asking is, what the hell did Kanye
Because he feels like he's revolutionizing what it means to be
Music,
black
art,
and music and all of that in
yeah,
fashion.
be an
Okay,
entrepreneur.
guys. Okay. I'm sorry for cutting you off. That just threw me. I'm just trying to understand. Like, what the hell? Okay. On his creativity. Okay, guys, that was like maybe 3 crazy things. Not crazy, but three things that was a little bit off so far.
They was
I just
crazy.
mean that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay,
He's a
number 10.
narcissist.
On his creativity. One of the problems with being a babbling source of creativity is like being I'm sorry, bubbling. A bubbling source of creativity is like I am bubbling in a laboratory, and if you don't put a cap on it, at one point it will leak and break the glass.
That's not
What?
how that works. That's not how that works at all.
Wait, what?
Technically, if you're
Okay.
if you're bubbling, you're just gonna leak over. But if I put
Exactly.
a cap on it, then you're gonna break the glass. With the
Force will
cap
just leak
off,
over.
Well, maybe
yeah,
we
with the
need to look
cap
at it
off, you're
like
just gonna leak.
You've
maybe.
already reached your peak, and you just boil over.
That just
Yeah.
sounds stupid.
That's what I thought would happen, and you can't. Okay, all right. So this article was published in. Oh, hold on one second, guys. It took me somewhere else. I'm so sorry, guys. So sorry. So sorry. I hate
All
quiet
right.
moments. I'm gonna talk. Okay, this was
Mhm,
published
mhm.
August 31st, 2015. I mean, some of these things on his list, he set a goal and he achieved them. So if that's crazy, well, sign me up. The hell.
I mean, having goals is one thing. That's fine and dandy, but
Acting like an
saying the
asshole
stuff
is a
he
different
said in
thing.
um, those last two were a little much. I mean, I don't know what this guy is like gonna achieve even more than what he's already achieved, but I think he needs to take a step back and chill for a little bit.
Hmm.
Get out of the spotlight, and just go dark. If he doesn't go start going dark, like I said, he put himself in a almost in a point of no return. There's going to be no turning back. And I think I'm going to give you an estimate. If this keeps up for the next 30 to 60 days, he's going to lose his endorsement deals. He's going to lose his company because they're going to push him out. Doesn't matter if you own it. He has a board of directors. They'll push him out of his own company. He'll lose all of his record deals. And if he's smart,
I don't know if he
he
has a
owns the
board of
rights to all
directors.
his music. And if he doesn't own the rights to all his music, Columbia is going to go and take all his music away from him.
No, he already owns the rights to his music.
Okay,
Remember, that's what he. But
That's
he's
why he was able to release his music the way he was releasing it. Kanye is no dummy. He's
no,
like
I didn't say
uh,
dummy. I'm just saying if he
he's gonna
was
make sure
if he's ready for being an
he's ready.
independent,
He's ready. You have to
because he's gonna have to go
you
back
have to
to his company.
realize he knows what's gonna happen when he's doing these things. I believe Kanye has set himself up to exit fame, to exit Hollywood. I think that's what he's doing. I think he is going to try to go out and make himself legendary. He has already showed us that he believes that he is he's he's a star. I mean, he's really a star. He's a literal star in his mind. And so I truly believe that Kanye is going to go out with a bang. I don't believe he's going to hurt Kim. I really don't.
I think he is.
I don't think he is. I don't
I
think
think
he
that
I
he's
mean,
had
I'm not
thoughts of
even gonna
killing him.
say what I don't. I'm not even gonna say what I really think he's gonna do because I'm not even gonna say because it's not. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's gonna involve some hurting because he's literally gonna go over the edge. Like he's already at the edge. All he needs is just somebody to push him over, and then that's it.
Hmm. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because we have been doing this for an hour and 20 minutes. And
I'm sleepy.
the producer over here falling asleep. Brandon's shining that head, so I know he's tired.
He's tired. It looked like the
I got-
kitty tired too.
I got assignments to do, so
Yeah.
that's all
I'm
really
so
matters.
sorry that we ran over so long, you guys. Like always, I appreciate you guys. I know it's 11 p.m. So guys, thank you for coming to the Lauren Hour. We appreciate everyone who tuned in. B Sparrow Talk. Thank you. And guys, go check out B Sparrow Talk on YouTube. She has a lot of informative videos. And she has some good stuff over there. I'm always over there watching things. But again, take care of your mental health, guys.
Yep.
If you don't feel like you are in a safe place, seek help. Ask someone for help. Do not be so indulged with pride that you don't reach out to someone because you never know. That person may know someone who can help you, or that person may be able to help you. There is no shame in asking for help. There is no shame in seeking, like I said, medication, therapy, whatever it is that you choose. You are loved. I love all of you guys out there. Just want to encourage everyone and let everyone know that we are living in some tough times right now. And I understand with COVID, it has a lot of people down. It has families torn apart, and families are separated, and a lot of families are going through things financially and mentally. Right now, what we need to do as a nation and as a people really is to hold each other together. I know that we got into race today, and I don't want anyone to ever think that because you are of a different race than me or anyone on this panel, that you are less important, because guess what? We are all humans. We all matter. There is love for all of us. Like, there is so much love out here in the world that we can give each other. But that is it. I am signing off. It is your girl, Lord Danny. Thank you for tuning in. And remember to like, share, and subscribe on Facebook and also YouTube at the Lauren Hour Podcast with Laura Dannon. Again, if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, or whatever it is that you like to tune in on, make sure you go over to YouTube so you can get familiar with our beautiful faces, because you know what, we family. You gotta recognize your family. All right, guys, bye.